today I'm going to be showing you how to print with your sprinkle tray using the grid method for on-screen alignment with Canva for Mac users. Wow, that's a lot to say, but don't worry, it's actually super easy. Now, since we're using the grid in this method, you will need to have first calibrated your eddy to your sprinkle tray using the grid. If you haven't done so, you'll want to follow our step-by-step calibration video first. But assuming you've already calibrated, let's get started. I'm logged into Canva here. I do have the pro version, but most users can get away with using the free version. First, we're going to make a new page by selecting custom size. And then we need to make sure our increments are set to inches. And then set our page to 4.5 by 4.5 and create new design. Now we have a blank page that is 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. The white space replicates your sprinkle tray perfectly, and since you calibrated your eddy to print centered to the sprinkle tray, whatever we place on this page will print in the same location and the same size on your sprinkle tray. Since we're using the grid today, the first thing we're going to do here is add our grid. The grid PNG can be found in the calibration file folder that you downloaded to calibrate your sprinkle tray. And then we can either upload it here by clicking upload and finding it, or you can also just drag it in, which of course is what I do because it's easiest. You can drag and resize the grid, but I typically like to select position, make sure the ratio is locked, and then just set it to 4.5 so I know it's exact. And then center both vertically and horizontally. And I know my grid is the perfect size and in the perfect location. Now, this next step is optional, but I like to turn down the opacity of the grid a bit so I can see the design I'm working with better. And finally, I'm going to lock the grid. This is also optional, but I'd rather lock it now and have to unlock it again later than accidentally moving it around while I'm working. Okay, so now we have an exact replica of our sprinkle tray grid on screen. So the next thing we need to do is bring in the item we'd like to print. I'm going to be printing our sweet strawberry from the Sprinkle Factory. All of our PNG files come eddy ready with a transparent background, so there's not much you have to do, or really anything, once you download the file. I've actually already uploaded my strawberry, as you can see right here, so I'm just going to go ahead and drag it on over to my page. Now, at this point, I'll need to measure my actual cookie to see how big I want this strawberry to print. I would like full coverage, and my strawberry from the widest and tallest point here is 3.6 inches, my strawberry cookie that is. So I'm going to adjust the size of this strawberry graphic to be 3.6 inches. And of course, again, you can drag it, but I just like to select position and type it in so I know that I've got just what I need. Now, it may be tempting to center this strawberry while we're here, but instead, I'm actually going to choose the closest grid lines so I can easily match the location with my actual sprinkle tray. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it right here. And I love how Canva has this bright purple outline because I can really see where it lines up with the grid. It makes it super simple. Now, if you do find that you can't get this to line up perfectly, you can actually come over here and adjust your Y and X's to nudge it just a little bit, either horizontally or vertically, so it fits the line, which is super nice. So I actually think I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay, and now we're almost ready to print. Just have to remove our grid. But instead of just simply unlocking and deleting the grid, what I recommend to do is actually duplicate the page up here on the top right. The reason why I do this is because now it gives us two pages, one to reference where to place our cookie on the grid, and one to actually save and print. So for the second page, which we're saving and printing with, we're going to delete the grid. So we're going to unlock the grid and then simply delete it. Now, you may be wondering, what about this white space? Eddie never prints white, he just ignores it. So it will recognize that the page size, the file extends all the way out to here, but it just won't print anything, which is perfect because that means it will keep everything the same size as your sprinkle tray. So next we're going to save this file, really download it by selecting share, and then we're going to select download. And down here, we're actually going to unselect all files. I'm just going to select page 2 because this one can stay on screen. It's just for reference. This one I do need to download. So I'm going to select done and download. Okay, now as you can see, mine just downloaded and it popped up here. If yours didn't pop up on screen quite as easily, you can go into your downloads folder and grab it now. But from here, we are home free. All we need to do is select file and print. We're going to set it to the correct printer. And then the most important thing here is to set the page size to 4.5 by 4.5, which remember matches your sprinkle tray. All right, and that's going to keep everything the same proportions as we made over here. And if you want to adjust your quality or your saturation, you can do that under printer features here. We can set the quality, let's say, to 4, and we can go to none, however you prefer to set your qualities. Next, all we need to do is hit print, and then go on over to Eddie and line our cookie up to match the grid on screen here, and we're all set to go. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. That is how to use your sprinkle tray grid with Canva. See you next time.